Now, as Loneliness Awareness Week comes to an end, Age UK in Cambridgeshire and Peterborough are appealing to the local community to recruit more volunteers. Around 1 in 12 people aged 50 plus are often lonely, equivalent to around 1.4 million people. And Age UK projects that will increase to around 2 million people in the next 3 years. Melanie Pittock is the CEO at Age UK Cambridgeshire and Peterborough. Melanie, thanks for joining us. It sounds like something that a lot of volunteers will actually get a lot out of. It's not just doing something for other people, but can potentially help them as well.
Definitely. Volunteering is incredibly rewarding for anybody who does this. In fact, a lot of people volunteer without even realising that they're doing so, just by giving some time to clubs or schemes, on a weekly basis. But certainly volunteering is very rewarding, and, a lot of our volunteering focuses around supporting people who are feeling isolated and potentially lonely, and actually that may be the same case for a lot of volunteers, and
exactly,
by volunteering, they're tackling it themselves.
So volunteers are basically giving up their time to share it with an older person in Cambridgeshire or Peterborough. Home visits, telephone befriending. What else do your brilliant volunteers do?
We have so many volunteering opportunities. We have day services where we provide daycare for older people, and we have volunteers who support those alongside paid staff. So they carry out a slightly different role, but again, very rewarding. We support a number of friendship clubs, primarily across Peterborough, which we support them to develop clubs and establish them within the area, and then local people attend, and then we can help them with training, etc. And we even have roles such as administration, and help with fundraising. So there's lots and lots of opportunities.
It all sounds brilliant, Melanie, but I can imagine some people thinking, oh heck, I just thought you'd want me to make a few cups of tea. How much time and, I guess, experience do you need to be a volunteer? Because some people might just think, well, I'm good at talking, but I can't, there's a lot of things there that I don't think I could do.
Well, it really, really depends on how much time you have each week. So some people give us half an hour a week to make a phone call to an older person who's feeling quite lonely. Others will spend an hour visiting somebody in their own home. And then in a day centre, for example, they may give 6 hours a week to spend time in that setting. So it really does depend what they have available, and it doesn't have to be onerous either.
Is there training? Because the reason I say this is, for a lot of people it will be simply having a conversation, which will be lovely, but people that are needing that conversation might have extra issues that even if you're a great conversationalist, you might not know how to handle. Do you train your volunteers?
We do train our volunteers, so it's a very broad spectrum of people who we're spending time with, of course. So we train volunteers to be very aware of issues that may be affecting the lives of older people, to be aware of any risks that may be, shown to them, and how to report that to the staff within the organisation, who are extremely supportive of them. So there's a lot of sort of onboarding, induction training, and that continues throughout their time of volunteering with the organisation.
Melanie, I'm guessing that you probably have got more volunteers in the more urban areas, in Cambridge, in Peterborough. Are there any areas around the county that really need the support, those kind of hidden patches of the county where people are often overlooked?
Yes, there are, and unsurprisingly, it's part of the Fenland area. So in Wisbeach, we really need volunteers. We need volunteers around Huntingdon, St Neots, and in Peterborough. But that said, if you're happy to be a telephone befriender, for example, it doesn't really matter where you live. Whereas if your preference is to visit somebody or work in a daycare centre, for example, then we would ask that you come from those areas, because what we don't want to do is ask you to travel unnecessarily. We want it to be just as much an experience for you as the volunteer as it is for the older people you're supporting.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to sort of get volunteers, onboard them, have them really enjoying it, but then thinking, I can't really afford to do this because of petrol or that sort of thing.
Yes, yeah, and we do reimburse volunteers for their fuel. So they shouldn't be out of pocket if they wish to claim that money.
Oh, wow. Melanie, if there's someone listening that thinks, I would love to do this, but I don't, for whatever reason, I'm still working full-time or I'm looking after the grandkids, etc., is there anything else that we can do if we can't donate our time?
Yes, there's always things that you can do to help us. So, from really simple things such as we're trying to really promote and highlight the work that we're doing on social media. So by following us on Facebook, Instagram, on Twitter, and sharing the stories of our work and our appeals, then we'd be extremely grateful.
Hey, I'm going to do it now. What are you on Twitter? I've only got Twitter open. I can't do Instagram on the computer.
Oh, now you're asking me. I think it's Age UK CAP because we are an independent charity. So always look for the Cambridgeshire and Peterborough element.
I've got you. It is.
You've got it.
It's Age UK CAP, Cambs and Peterborough, followed.
Yep. Yeah, and then on Facebook it is Age UK Cambridgeshire and Peterborough.
Well, I forgot my password for Facebook. I can't get on there, I'm afraid. But I'll try. When I finally get my life together, I'll find it for you, Melanie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on, Melanie. I know you're really busy, so I appreciate you getting in touch.
Thank you.
I really hope that the volunteers get in touch with you. How best is it that you want them to do that?
Yep, so the best way, if you are able to get onto the internet, then please do have a look at our website. And again, if you look for Age UK Cambridgeshire and Peterborough. Otherwise, if you give us a phone call on 0300 666 9860, that's for our information helpline. But what you can actually do is leave a voice message on there, and it will be passed through to the relevant team who will be in touch with you, and hopefully we'll be able to get you on board and you can enjoy a rewarding experience with us as a volunteer.
Melanie, thank you so much for coming on. Melanie Pittock there, the CEO of Age UK Cambridge and Peterborough.